Okay.
Oh, hi, I'm Dr. Hillary from Rangeline Chiropractic. Today I'd like to interview Dr. Gabe. He is from Mahalo Wellness, and some of you that are in the office currently as patients, you have noticed all of our Mahalo products, our CBDs, the capsules, the tinctures, and I wanted you guys to meet the man behind it all. Dr. Gabe, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and why Mahalo?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Dr. Hillary. It's funny. I do a lot of these interviews, and it's still a funny time to think about where Mahalo came from. But let me just make the long story condensed here. Like yourself, I'm a chiropractor, and I think I was always looking for, something else to help our chiropractic patients that, really fit the same dialogue and congruent message of health and healing. And that's where CBD kind of came into the picture. Doing the research behind it, it really made sense to me. I was very lucky and fortunate to have a very good friend that was already in the business, had a farm in Colorado, and he was urging me to really start doing my homework on CBD. And eventually, I took that seriously. We started using it inside of our clinic. The results blew me away, and they continue to blow me away. And so, our first conversation we had was I was in Hawaii, and Mahalo was the theme there of gratefulness and giving back, and the appreciation of life, and in this sense to the human body. So Mahalo was developed, and now it sits in hundreds of chiropractic offices all over the country.
I love it. I wanted you to kind of tell everyone a little bit about like the sourcing and why we want to find a good source of CBD oil. I think that it's just populated everywhere. And I always tell patients, don't buy it from the gas station or don't buy it from this or that. Can you kind of give us a quick overview on why the sourcing is important?
Yeah, sourcing is everything. Obviously, you can find CBD just about anywhere now. Maybe Dr. Hillier, I'll give people like 5 things to kind of look for. Obviously, in Mahalo, we follow all these rules, but when we first came on board, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of companies following these 5 steps, and we know that CBD works. There's research to back it. It all depends on getting the right kind of CBD into your body, and then hopefully having a healthcare professional like you, Dr. Hillary, advising patients on how to take it or what product would be best for them. But the first one is actually know the source. I mean that is as pure as that sounds. Is where does the product come from? Is it coming from Europe? Is it grown here in the USA? Know what it's the farming methods. So we use all organic farming methods. And a lot of people don't know this, but hemp and the word weed, right? Even though hemp and CBD are not, it's not a marijuana plant, but the word weed came up because hemp roots, they will absorb everything within the soil. So knowing what's in that soil that the land is coming from is critical to the quality of the CBD. Also knowing like the extraction method, how the CBD is extracted is critically a critical point of keeping that product pure and obviously utilizing it the right way. So, those are 2 things to keep in mind, and then understanding, what product do you want? Do you want a full spectrum product? Do you want a product with 0% THC in it? Is the price the right point? A lot of products that patients are tempted to go and buy are a little bit cheaper, and they're in the gas stations, maybe on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like whenever I buy any sort of thing that's health and wellness for my family or for my patients that I have in the clinic, it usually costs a little bit more, and there's a good reason for that, right? We just know that it's tested. Make sure everything that you buy for your health and wellness is third-party tested. So, of course, Mahalo, we're third-party tested. We go through all the rigorous steps to make sure our product is exactly what we say it is. So, yeah, I mean, if you're buying stuff off the shelf, you're probably going to be off the gas station shelf or, in a place that's also selling pharmaceutical drugs. You're typical to the people that come in and say, you know what, I tried CBD and it didn't work for me. So once you start trying Mahalo, the conversation, the dialogue typically changes pretty quickly.
Yeah, I hear that quite often, and I kind of say like, well, where'd you get it from? Because it's the quality of it. And we always say that, it's, invest in your health. And, sometimes it's cheap for a reason, right? I try to say those things all the time to people.
Same.
um,
I say, yep.
the other thing that I hear a lot about patients asking me about dosage, and I think that when you're just buying it off the shelf or just buying it on Amazon and you don't have someone dosaging you and telling you the correct dosage for your certain conditions, that can also be a problem. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, and this is, I think the being a chiropractor, like, but the purpose behind Mahalo was to get it into the doctor's hands who I thought were the best to understand the body, which to me, of course, was chiropractic. And so then training doctors like you, Dr. Hillary, the power and the knowledge and the research behind CBD so that you can dose it correctly. So your patients have Mahalo, but they have a good product in their hand. But now it's understanding, based on what they're trying to achieve from that product, how much should they take? Should they be taking a capsule versus a tincture? And there's a whole misunderstanding, and I understand where it comes from, of how much to take. And typically, people are taking, uh, well, they're not taking enough. Let's just say that they're not taking nearly
Mhm.
enough of their body to recognize and utilize it to make a change within their body. And if you think about why that is, it's pretty simple. In the fact that we've been depriving our, the endocannabinoid system within our body, from a lack of, phytonutrients and CBD product or CBD in general. Typically, you're going to want to take a higher dosage to get your body kind of out of that deficiency mode and actually utilize the CBD, in which your body can, make some relatively sudden changes, I would say. But for most things, whether it's usually like start with something small and then build to it. Well, actually, CBD works quite the opposite for most people. So, having a doctor that understands CBD and how the body actually uses it is incredibly important to getting a result.
Mhm. I agree. What kind of conditions are you seeing lately that the CBD oil is helping? I know that we're treating very similar populations, but it'd be great to hear from you and kind of like what your patients are coming in for and why are you prescribing the CBD?
Yeah, well, I don't know about you, but I'm excited about this time that we're in right now because I think it allows you and I to communicate a different sort of message that patients are not necessarily hearing outside of our clinic, and that the body is it's resilient. The body has a chance to heal. However, we need to help it, right? And like
Mhm.
you clear the nervous system and help a body, function at its optimal level. Um, but we can't adjust a patient that has a bad diet and all this stress and everything else that's going on in life. And right now, it would be the perfect time to be having a conversation about CBD because a lot of my patients have more anxiety than they've ever had before.
Mhm.
Their stress levels have skyrocketed. So that turns on a part of their nervous system that doesn't allow them to get into like a full rest or relaxation period, which we know is when the body recovers and heals itself. So, right now, I would say that the people that are having anxiety like issues, the people that are having restless nights, the people that are feeling overwhelmed are definitely the patients that I am talking to the most about getting CBD as a part of their daily routine, and sparking the part of the nervous system that allows their body to relax, heal, and fight, whatever disease processes that are happening. So sleep, anxiety, I mean, those are definitely two of the biggest ones. We know inflammation and pain patients are a huge part of that category as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I think right now the only people that haven't talked to me about stress and anxiety are a few handfuls of teachers. I feel like they might be loving this time, and I think when I'm adjusting, I'm like, "Wow, you guys are so loose. You're not stressed," and they're like, "Oh no, we just do some e-learning for a couple hours a day. It's great. I get time for me," and we just laugh about it.
It's one of the wildest things about this time, and you probably recognize this too, is learning about how everybody is impacted differently, whatever profession they're in. Um, but the grand total has been like I remember the first week this started coming out, and the look, the expression on the faces of my patients were, almost like help me understand this better, right? And
Mhm.
so I don't, I don't dwell on the negativity. There's always something within whatever's going on where we need to take action. And I was I was telling my other chiropractors that we were talking to about, like, this could be the stepping stone for people having, the I guess the willingness to practice health on a daily basis and not just a seasonal basis, right? Where
Good point.
we're waiting for something to come around to really take action. And so this is where I really get into, what are the supplements that you're taking on a daily basis? And I know that, for me and a lot of our practice members, there's like four key supplements, and CBD is one of those. And so
Mhm.
now it's just a matter of me increasing that sort of conversation within the clinic.
Yeah, no, I agree. Every day. Actually, I take mine every night.
That's what I take on as well. Yeah.
Yep, yep. I was just telling some patients today when their stress level and they're not sleeping well. I was like, that's exactly why I take it at night. So I was like, you will wake up so refreshed and ready for your day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell us about your company? I know that you have a special offer too that you wanted to make the everyone listening and everyone that's going to probably replay this video later tonight.
Yeah, I guess, Dr. Hillier, I just want to say, and I appreciate you having me on here, because there's a whole bunch of confusion with CBD. And so I think one thing I always want to end with is that CBD is endogenous. Your body already produces. So, you can't be for it, against it. It's happening whether or not you want it to, right? So
It's true.
that's the case. I want people to start understanding that this is like if you were low in vitamin D, you would take more vitamin D to boost your levels. And most
Mhm.
of us are suffering from a chronic deficiency in our endocannabinoid system, or of CBD. And so it's really our job to replenish that system. And so, it's up to you to find the best product. And then hopefully you can tag team that with a doctor that understands the product and then how to use it. So, Mahalo, we're backed by, loads and loads of data and research. And so that I can pass this research on to Dr. Hillary. She gives me her findings. We collaborate all this together so we have the best outcomes for our patients. And I don't know, I've never seen so much success when you put all these doctors together providing information. And
Mhm.
the best part about it is that the patients get the most satisfaction out of it. So yeah, you did say I was going to offer something. So for your patients, Dr. Hillary, I know this is, the stressful time. So as a thank you from Mahalo from us to you and your patients, any of your patients that watch this that would like to buy CBD, try CBD, the Mahalo CBD in your office, we're going to throw in a free salve. So I'll show you what salve is like a topical, guys. We know that the ECS has receptors on the skin as well. So for any aches or pains, the salve works really, really well. So we will absolutely provide that at no cost for any of your patients that purchase from you.
That's awesome. They are going to love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on and telling us about the product, and look forward to using it. And if I have more questions from people, I will shoot them to you. I know that I already reached out to you last week and you're very prompt and helping me with a question with a patient and dosage. So I really appreciate everything.
Yeah, we're always here to help, Dr. Hill. We appreciate you. And as I like to say, mahalo.
Thank you, Dr. Gabe. Have a good evening.
Thank you.